Ciao, everyone. Buona domenica, buongiorno. Hope you're having a great day, no matter what day you're watching it.
Me
I'm
too.
Esther.
I agree with her. I know.
I'm Esther, and this is Alfred, and we're two expats living in Sicily, and we come to you every Saturday or Sunday to say hello and what is going on. So,
Well, it's not Eastern Standard Time. I mean, daylight savings time in Italy for another 3 weeks, right? Am I correct?
March 28th.
March 28th. So,
but in the States,
it is. Here it isn't. So
we're coming to you a little earlier than normal. So I want to show you guys.
But look at this.
The newest addition to our house.
We got
Fresh
two of them.
Basilico. I love this in my salad. Also, obviously, we use it in the sauce. Caprese salad. How do you guys like basil, huh?
The basil, if you research it, basil and parsley are off the charts healthy for you. Did you realize that? It really is. Besides tasting
plentiful here.
It's really good. So we got two of them. We usually do about 6 to 8 of them a year. If I plant them, they're okay until the first bad wind comes, and then it shrivels them right up. But what I've been doing is I've been alternating between the front and the back and giving it plenty of sunlight right now.
Plenty, and the smell of it is just fantastic.
The smell is terrific.
So you guys, you want to know something really funny? Today is March 14th. If you're watching this live, it's March 14th, which is Pi Day. 3414.
You're talking about
Archimedes.
Archimedes Day.
Today is Pi Day, Archimedes Day, and it's so
Pi
funny.
R squared.
Exactly. Then the funniest thing, I was going to talk about Archimedes last week because our friend Mark Cahill said, hey, you guys should talk about famous Sicilian Italians, and we just ran out of time. And so it just happens that on Pi Day, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Archimedes, who I love because, I used to love math. I even was in math competitions in high school. And Archimedes was one of my favorites, one of the greatest mathematicians of his time, right? But I always thought he was Greek. Yeah, he is Greek. He was born in Syracuse during the Magna Graecia. So that's a little bit of a tidbit for you, right?
He also, besides being a mathematician, and he was a superb mathematician, he was also in charge of the defensive fortifications in Syracuse when the Romans, Marcellus, I believe it was, attacked them. And he's the guy that came up with the idea of getting mirrors and bouncing the sun off the mirrors to come up with a primitive laser beam.
And also trusting heavy things, that's how they used to bomb the Roman ships that were coming. And this was the era when the Romans and the Carthaginians were vying for Sicily, right?
Yeah, and then some stupid idiot Roman guy, against the orders of the commander, killed him.
Well, basically they
greatest
said,
mind of the era.
Yeah, basically they said, bring Archimedes to us alive. But he was so intent on staying with his papers, staying with his work.
The guy got irritated and
killed him. He was also the guy who came up with Eureka. I found it with the water displacement.
Right, volume displacement. So he's a pretty interesting,
We should come to you every week, talk about an interesting Sicilian. What do you guys think about that?
I think that, she brings up one every week. I bring up one every week. I think that these things are important to understand your own cultural enrichment about what being a Sicilian is. It's a lot more than eating a cannoli, that's for sure.
And we're intent about bringing you some good information about Sicily. By the way, did you see the last episode we just posted last week? I showed you how to make an espresso. And also, Alfred had some interesting thoughts. So I'll leave that in the comments link.
Good morning, Vivian.
Let's say hello to Joe and Sue. Maria is here. Papi Alfano is here. Manny's here. Ciao from Washington. Does Sicily have anything like daylight savings time?
Yeah.
March 28th.
March 28th, we'll be moving our clocks up. Right now we're at the same level.
Nice to see Janet Lombardi from England. You guys, the other...
Joya Russo. Can I talk about Joya?
Yes.
She just ordered some books from us. Can you imagine that? Joya, I'm so happy. I just got your order. I sent it to Jen, and she'll be taking care of it, just so you know. Thank you
Sue's
very much.
Watching us from the big TV. Wow.
Sue, we have the same thing on our refrigerators. All those magnets that you have, we have the same thing, too.
I'm not sure. What are you talking about?
Did you see her refrigerator? She posted a picture of a refrigerator on Facebook.
Okay.
They have all the little magnets all over the place.
Okay, so listen, here's something else to know that starting on Monday, which is the 15th, we go into an orange zone. Sicily has been in the yellow zone for a few weeks, but the national government, in preparation for Easter, is basically locking us down again. So restaurants will be closed for eating in. And then on Easter weekend, and also Easter Monday, we will all be in red zone, except for Sardinia, which
I
remains
think
white.
it's important that they do that, to be honest with you, because you have all the kids up north. They want to come home for Easter. So guess what? They go up there, let them stay up there. Let them eat a salami sandwich for the day. What the heck? And people are I was writing about this today. People are very nervous about this variant.
Yeah.
People are very nervous.
The English one, yeah.
The stories that we read are scary. They scare people here.
Yeah, mostly up north. Peter Schipoletti, I'm growing 10 types of basil this year, and Genovese is my favorite type.
That's what that is, Genovese.
For caprese salad with many types of tomatoes.
Yep, definitely. Good. Hi, Peter. Peter's been very helpful to us. He's our go-to QC guy now, right?
QC, yeah.
Quality control guy.
So when are you planting my celery and my lettuce?
When it gets a little bit warmer.
Nothing like putting them on the spot.
Yeah, no, I have to do it. I have to do it. That's why I bought it. But first I have to get some soil.
So can you guys hear the children? Leave me a comment if you can hear the children. We have new neighbors, and there's some children playing outside. But that's life here in Sicily.
I wanted to pour a pan of hot water on them, but she wouldn't let me. But that's what my grandmother used to do. When the kids used to talk, that's exactly what we did. We used to do that all the time.
Christine Leone, Olive Tree Memorial, good morning. Joe Ascioni would like for you to talk about St. Joseph's Day in Sicily, which is coming up next week, right?
This week coming up.
This week coming up, 19th.
St. Joseph is, in my view, one of the most underrated of all the patron saints. Okay, St. Giuseppe. However, he's venerated here in Sicily, and they do it by eating different types of grain products here. It's called the St. Joseph's Table. Okay, and they have all sorts of beautiful little shrines in all these little villages that are just loaded right now with stuff. St.
All
Joseph's
types of breads.
Breads especially, yeah. But also things like pasta con sade or something like that. It's grain-based, pretty much, right? Did you have that in Hungary?
St. Joseph is, yeah, absolutely.
We also have on Wednesday
St.
Patrick's Day coming up.
And in commemoration, in honor of St. Patrick's Day. What are you having?
Listen. Today, I'm having, can you see this? I'm having a glass of Jameson, triple distilled.
Only the best, smooth,
Irish whiskey. And you know who I'm going to dedicate this to? I'm going to dedicate this to Sister Donna Muldoon in Charlestown and Father Peter LeCam, also in Charlestown. Now, Sister Muldoon, do you ever see that movie Blues Brothers?
You know what, I'm going to ask maybe the kids do.
The tough kids, the tough nun that used to go like this to the Donna Muldoon. Donna Muldoon. She's right now, Esther is giving them a little bit of a business right now. I also wanted to call out and let you know that our friend Caroline, if you know, Caroline is on recovering from a little bit of some problems that she had, surgical problems this week, and we've been saying our prayers for her a lot. I also want to give a shout out to Linda Bruno. We had an opportunity, Linda Bruno Guilford. We had an opportunity this week to talk to her, or she talked to her for a long time on Facebook. And as I said to you before, she's like the quintessential Sicilian woman. She really is.
How's that? Problem solved. She said no problem. Yeah. She said, "Oh, mi scusa."
I would have thrown water on her too.
Whatever. Stop it. Okay. Greetings from New York. Hope all is well with you. I heard that Italy is shut down again. Yes, Sally. We just talked about it a couple of minutes ago. We are in orange zone. We moved from yellow zone, and during Easter we'll be on red. So basically everything closed.
Like I said, it's preventative though. It's not because like everybody. Oh, there's only 11 deaths this weekend. I think this weekend,
In
right?
Sicily.
In Sicily, only 11 deaths, so it's not that bad. I mean, we had a lot more than that a couple months ago. So
But you know, the thing is, we've talked to a lot of our friends, and people are getting restless. Today is the last day before going into the orange zone, and a lot of social media. I see people gathering for one last day in the restaurants because we won't be able to until April 6th. Lots of gatherings, so we'll see what happens. Even and also the restaurants. You know, restaurants were open. Well, the markets still remain open.
Yeah.
But you have restaurants that stock up because we've been able to go to restaurants now for a few weeks, and all of a sudden Friday we get word that starting on the 15th.
No good. Hey, there's my pal Jimmy Ingram. Jimmy, how you doing?
Ingram.
You okay? Everything okay? I miss you. I haven't talked to you for I don't know how long.
Last
and
week.
Yes, we still have the white plastic chair on the other side.
Okay. March 19th, my mother Josephine's name day. It's so great here with all the saints. I missed you last weekend. Andrew Parisi, that chat still exists on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it. But I love the festivals here because there's always some kind of special food, special commemoration, special event that happens. You know, obviously not this year, but where were we a couple of years ago for St. Joseph's Day? And they were giving out breads to everyone. I think we're in.
Oh, I know. We were in Savoca. We were in Savoca. Yeah, we were in Savoca. That guy was giving us these loaves of bread that had olives in them. You remember that? Yeah. I love those breads.
Helen saw that Mama Aetna blew her top earlier today. She's been blowing her top every single day since February 16th. It's crazy. I think the last one was today or yesterday.
It's averaging every 35 hours she's blowing. And fortunately, it's all on the southeast side, which means it's really bombing 8 little villages on its way out to the sea. The vast majority of the ash goes out to the Ionian Sea, but on the way over there, it drops the ash, which is basically a grit. Okay, it's really not like
it's crunchy. And when I went to
crunchy, I'd say it's
when
crunchy.
I went to Jara the other day, I mean, it was like
Jade.
It was I mean, stepping on it. And you know what they do here? They collect them in plastic bags, and now the community, the towns are picking them up and treating it as trash. And they're actually asking everyone not to just throw the ash everywhere, just collect it, put it in a bag. It's a lot of work.
They've been doing that for time immemorial. And now what's happened is that the grit or the ash is ruining the fresh crops that are just about ready to come out, like cauliflower and broccoli.
Well, those have been
spinach, right?
And the salads.
And the salads too. So
massive cleanup.
She's been eating like the weeds. I've had to pull weeds for her all week because.
Andrew Parisi, I saw your interview with Carmen DeMarco. What a great job you did, and what an interesting guy.
Carmen's a good guy. So much. He's still here.
If you guys are new to this channel and didn't know, we don't just come to you live every Saturday or Sunday. We also have over 80 episodes on Sicily from all over Sicily, also on festivals, cultural things, cooking demos. So just make sure you, after we're finished here, go and search some stuff over there.
Carmen DeMarco is a boyhood friend of mine, and he's an artist, and he got basically, it wasn't fair what they've done to this guy. I mean, he's been ripped away from his family now, I think, for 10 years. He's over here, and we see him every once in a while. We invite him over here he's a great cook. So we usually go out to eat or something like that.
Yeah, he's been chatting a little bit with us. He misses us, so we need to get together.
Carmen's a good guy. His family, his brother Nunzio, the late Nunzio DeMarco, had a radio program on WCCM in Lawrence, an Italian program, and he was also a really good friend of mine for many. Matter of fact, he worked for me and us. All Things to Say and teaching Italian lessons, believe it or
not. Let's see. It's better than shoveling snow. How true is that?
You want to know something, Maria? I'm not that sure it is. I mean, because when you're shoveling snow, you're not going to get hit with rocks and stuff and get freaking knocked unconscious the way a lot of people, getting knocked unconscious, but I mean, there's pieces that big that have been falling down, damaging cars and things like that.
Good morning, you two. I just got your book. Can't wait to read it. I'm
Oh.
a first-generation Italian-American.
But hey, will you let me know if you like the book or not? And speaking about books, can I talk about?
Wait.
All right.
I love your earrings, Esther. Thank you. They're from my sister Bernadette, who's an image consultant. So she does, all her gifts are awesome. How many miles are we from Aetna? We can see Aetna from here, but you know,
As a crow flies, about 12 miles. By driving, about 15 miles. But guess what? If it blows, there's no way out. Okay, there's one road. It'll be jammed. God forbid. It'll be jammed at 114, and either way, whether you make a left or a right, you got to go by Aetna. Either way. So guess what? We're gonna stay here.
She said, "Too bad you can't ship the lava ash to those who want it for their gardens. I hear it's full of nutrients."
Yeah.
Yes, it is a great fertilizer. And in fact, a lot of the farmers here thank Mama Aetna for the produce.
Here's why you can't do that, Ed. Just to give you the answer, the legalist type of answer. Because when people are sweeping up stuff, they might inadvertently sweep up bugs, and they put them in the bags. And that's really how the Mediterranean fruit fly got into the United States, because someone sent oranges over there or lemons, and they were little tiny bugs. So now that, of course, they fumigate stuff, okay? But I'm sure you know what they do though? They've been putting them in these little glass containers about as big as the vaccination vial.
Exactly.
With a little thing on them, and you could buy them. They sell them for €2.
Hey, maybe when I go home, I'll bring some of those.
Okay.
Julie, nice to see you here. She's watching from England. Have you shared any recipes for artichokes? Thinking of grilling them. Remember Alfred saying he didn't like them with parsley. Any other grilled recipes you recommend? Actually, entertain for a second.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something, right? About artichokes. I like them the way my mother used to make them and the way my grandmother used to make them. She used to stuff them with breadcrumbs and all this other stuff and put them on the stove, and so they're nice and soft when you pull them. I don't like the dried ones that they put on the outdoor grills over here, because they stuff them with only two things: garlic and parsley. Okay, and the bottom is all carbonized. It's all, I say, burnt. Okay, she can eat them every day. She does eat them every day. What am I saying? Almost
They're so
every day.
good. But all you have to do is you cut the burnt stuff off, and the inside is delicious.
It's like my
Look
grandmother.
what we're having for lunch. Cacciofi. So if you buy these are marinated artichokes, and you can grill them, and they taste
they taste
delicious.
better grilled.
Yeah,
terrific
grilled or even in the oven.
If you see those in the market,
with parsley, excuse me,
grill
with oregano.
They're terrific.
Let me see what's in here.
Is
it cacciofi, which is artichokes?
Yeah.
Olio of sunflower seeds. There's a little bit of white wine. Sale picante. A little bit of spicy hot pepper flakes and prezzemolo. So there we go.
This is that's what you call a grocery store quality. It's really not.
It's not the greatest.
We go up to our friends in Via Grande, and she stuffs them herself. Okay, and those are like €8 a bottle. Though, guess what? These over here are maybe $5.
Speaking of recipes, we still have our recipe contest going on because we're going to have a cookbook out in the spring. And so if we have on youmeandsicily.com, go on there, and it says recipe form, and you fill it out, and it has to be a Sicilian recipe.
Okay, I want to talk. All right, now listen, here's what we're going to do today, okay?
What are we going to do?
And this is, as I put it in my update today, everybody's expecting some stimulus money. So how's about stimulating the Sicilian project, or stimulating You, Me, and Sicily? If you make a donation to the Sicilian Project for $100, that's www.thesicilianproject.com.
Which is our nonprofit.
Our nonprofit. Alfred Zappola will send to you for free. Free. What's free? Free, my 3 books. Okay, so that's a little bit of a thing that I'm going to be doing. Okay, that's number one. If you today make a $50 donation, or do a super chat for $50, I'll send you 3 books as well. Okay.
And which one are they?
We shipped almost. It's normally look, they started selling at $20 each. Now I have like 200 sets left. So I'm selling them the 3 books and $19. You could buy them on alfredsapple.com. And you could also buy The Reverse Immigrant too, by the way. That's back in print. And people would buy. My daughter Jen shipped 90 books. And yesterday, I says, "Hey, Jen, how's it going?" She goes, "Dad, you get to be a pain in the ass with these books." She thought I was going to ship like 3 books. But it's been going very, very well. So, buy them. You got to get that check. You can send me a little bit more if you want to.
Though she's only seen them in smaller jars of artichokes here, but good to know you can grill them. Yeah,
grilling them is great. Those things over there.
Pat Galfano says if you use a pressure cooker, 8 minutes.
Correct,
Terrific,
Pat.
good
Pat,
one.
Yeah.
We are also doing, we have our olive tree memorial with Christine, who's here. And then we will also, if you do some kind of a super chat or donate to our GoFundMe, we'll do a discount there as
Chris
well.
Leone is a really special woman, okay? She donates a lot of money from her olive tree thing to the Sicilian Project. I'm pushing the Sicilian Project, and I'm going to tell you why, okay? I got a call from the Archbishop, my friend Rosario Faraci did, about two groups over here in Archimedes in desperate need of money. One of them is for battered women, and the other one is for sexually abused kids. So I spoke to Giovanni Lanza, our president. He says, raise some dough, ray me, and we're going to send it to them. So I'm doing a special, I guess you could say, plea, abused kids, you got to be kidding me, right?
Yeah.
Sexually abused kids, come on, right? And the other one is homeless women, battered clinic type of a place.
So we're expanding our scope of
well, right
Sicilian
now we
project.
are, because there's so many people in need in Sicily. If I had $1 million, it wouldn't make a dent over here. But guess what? We feel good doing this.
A little bit here, a little bit there, for sure.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
It's doing our part. Sicily has done so much for the two of us that it's just one way for us to pay her back.
This
Stephen
vaccination.
Didomici says hello.
Hi, Steve.
Alfred, Rudy says, hi, Alfredessa. Will you be visiting Cacamo in the near future?
I don't even know what Cacamo is. Where is it?
Cacamo, I believe, is in the province of Trapani or Palermo.
I don't know.
We have no plans unless someone wants to sponsor a video, because one of the things that we have going on as well is our ancestral home videos, where we go to these towns and we feature the town.
What's the next one that we're putting up?
The next one we're putting up is Bagheria and Ventimiglia de Sicilia.
That'll be sometime this coming week.
Right.
And then after that?
After that, well, Santo Stefano di Camastra.
Santo Stefano di Camastra, the ceramic.
Yeah, so
one of the best ceramic places in Sicily.
What's that?
They're one of the best ceramic places in Sicily, Santo Stefano.
Yeah. Don't you have something for Easter to show everyone?
Oh, yes. Now, here's the thing, okay? I have a choice. I can open this up today.
Well, what are we talking
Wait
about?
a minute.
Okay.
Let me talk, okay? And, and just explain it to you on the surface now, which is what I really want to do. Or I can make a 2-minute video and put it as part of a thing. But
I like that idea.
Okay, so then we'll do that. But I'm going to show them what it is, okay?
Columba.
It's called Columba di Pasqua
Here,
cake. You can hold it up. They just
And
came
this
out.
is what it looks like. It's shaped like a dove. It's a typical, look how pretty this is. It's wrapped nicely, right?
It's soft.
Typical Easter.
What it is, it's an Easter bread. Okay, this was actually invented in Milan by the people who make Molta. You know Molta, the panettones and the pandoros? Okay. Maybe the guy says it's a little bit slow for Easter, so let's figure out something. So it's shaped like a dove, because that's what the word columba means. And on top of it, there's almonds and a little bit
candied orange,
something like that. It's really good. I like to toast these guys.
We'll have to do a video.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a video, a small 2-minute video. One of those little,
and they come out probably about 3-4 weeks before Easter. So we bought that one.
Now next week, I'm going to wait one more second. Okay. I'm going to go get the uva di Pasqua.
Ooh.
Those are the hard-boiled eggs. I want to show you some of the
bread with the hard-boiled eggs.
Well, it's really not bread. It's like a cookie. Okay, it's like a biscotti cookie.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. It's a cookie. They're delicious with a couple of hard-boiled eggs in here. And
they're
I
so
know where to
pretty.
get the good ones, too.
Naci Trezza, right?
No, those are okay. No, the best
one
ones are in
in
Via Grande.
Okay. Can Christine please provide the olive tree memorial? See, and I'll also put it after the show is done. I'll put
Chris,
it
why don't you put it up for us, will you please? So
that would be great.
this gentleman can. Thank you, Manuel.
Okay, and Rudy says it's near Termini Imerese.
Oh.
So I knew it, yeah, so it was in the province of Palermo. By the way, we did an entire episode on Termini Imerese. It's on the Ancestral Home Videos playlist. Hey, Yoragat, that means good morning. Hi there, greetings from Hungary. So for
Maria,
those
yeah.
of you who don't know, I was born in Hungary. For some reason, a lot of Hungarians have been
Can you
reaching
speak
out.
Hungarian?
Of course, what can I speak Hungarian?
Say something to Maria in
I
Hungarian.
just did. Yoragat.
No, say a whole sentence so I can hear you talk funny.
Nagyon jó látni téged itt. Azt várom, mindenkinek jó nap van. How's that?
She says I was a
hey.
big goofball, is what she said.
Joya Rusa says how much to sponsor a video, different for different places. So private message me and we can have that conversation there. Okay, wait a sec. I saw something here. Anna Marie is here. Buona domenica. Greetings from Acapulco, Mexico. Woo! I
What
love
are you
it.
doing? Are you on vacation here, Elizabeth, or do you live there? Castro, you must live
Hey,
there.
Alcamo, our new friend from Alcamo is here. Awesome to see you.
Alcamo's great. We go to Alcamo Marina all the time. I love it over there.
Yeah.
It's great. It's close
Beautiful.
to
Castellamare del Golfo in the province of Trapani. I have a friend who sells homemade Colombo in Liberia.
Yep.
That sounds
You know,
very
they're
good.
starting to make them now without the oils, the commercial oils that they put in, and they're putting in olive oil. The guys up in Castelbuono make it with olive oil. They're very, very good.
Rudy says Cacamo features the biggest castle in all of Sicily. That is very interesting.
We have to go there.
We need to do an entire episode on castles. I wanted to do that a while back as well.
We're going to be on the road again. Don't worry about it. Very soon. I mean, right now we're catching up on our backlog to finish off the season.
Yeah.
And we're also waiting for the COVID to go down. Although can I tell them my COVID story?
Yeah.
So I finally got an appointment.
April
24th or something like that. The next day, I come to find out that this
AstraZeneca
has killed a bunch of people, and now it's, allegedly, and now they're not giving it out until they do a comprehensive investigation. So that's my luck. Okay, so forget about getting Pfizer here. That's not going to happen. The next one is going to be Johnson & Johnson, where the prime minister says, or somebody says, that by June, 80% they'll have enough for 80% of the population.
We'll see.
We'll see if that's the case or not. So I don't know what to tell you.
Anna Marie says, yes, the castle in Cacamo is on my bucket list. Jim Ingram says, good point. Slice, put a scoop of gelato on top, and then amaretto. Ooh, that sounds really, really good.
Jim, what doesn't taste good with gelato and amaretto? Tell me. What?
That's a good point. So last week we talked to you about the emigration from Sicily to Australia, right?
Correct.
And this week we have a lot of fans watching from Australia, from Canada, obviously United States. Now we have England, Hungary, all over the world.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk a little bit about Canada.
Well, here's the thing: I'm going to do like a 2 or 3 minute segment every week to kind of tip my hat to the Italian immigrants who went all over the place. Okay. Last week was Australia, and there's a ton of them. And by the way, they're very loyal. Okay. They come over here. We love them when they come over here. This next group is Canadian. We were just on a show in Montreal.
Luigi,
our friend Luigi, and it's wonderful. He told me how many Italians of Italian ancestry are in Canada. But let me give you a couple of facts. The first fact was that in 1497, that's only, 5 years after Christopher Colombo, this guy by the name of John Cabot, Caputo, navigated to Newfoundland and, quote unquote, discovered Newfoundland. He was working for King Henry VII of England, and he was a guy that was responsible mostly for opening up trade, ultimately, between England and the Americas, okay? Because one of the biggest things that they brought into Virginia at the beginning was tobacco and all this other stuff, okay, if you study history. But then if you look at the immigration from Canada, Italians going into Canada, it kind of quieted down until the 19th century, okay, the end of the 19th century, where 100,000 came in. Why did they come in? Well, they came in because of the mines and gold and working as a cheap factory, blah, 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 this and that. But the most interesting thing I found about that first group was they came in from the United States. So within that number that came in from Sicily or Italy to the United States, a lot of them went up north and for seasonal work. There's a lot of work there, lumber mills, I mean, you name it. So that was a wild and woolly country back in the 19th century, going into the 20th century. Then, right before, then it stopped because of the Great Depression, okay? Then World War II broke out. And recall during the Second World War, we had Mussolini and the fascists in control in Italy. So the Canadians got, just like they did in the United States, they were kind of like resident, enemies, so to speak. And there was a lot of discrimination that went down in Canada and also the United States for those Italians that had sympathies towards fascism. And by the way, a lot of the Italians who came here did. It's very simple. You can't, sugarcoat it or whatever. So that stopped. So finally, it wasn't until after the Second World War when the largest group came over. And they came over because of reconstruction efforts that they were doing for Italy. Italy was on its knees. So Canada says, come on, we'll take a bunch of you. And they've settled in Toronto. They've settled in Montreal. They've settled in all the urban cities in Canada. They're great contributing citizens, Canadian citizens. There's 1.5 million people now. And I was shocked by that number. 1.5 million people of Canadian, Italian extraction
and all of them have their hearts back here in Sicily. It's been fascinating.
Well, not just Sicily, in Italy.
It's been fascinating for me to watch and talk to some people living in Canada, living in the United States, living in Australia, living all over in Brazil, in Uruguay. Very interesting is that even though they're second, third generation, their heart is in Sicily. So
there's also the mafia. I mean, I'm going to talk about the good and the bad always. And they had a mafia problem there. They had a mafia problem for a lot of reasons, but typically the Canadian Americans vote left wing in Canada. And left wing, and because they were very active in the labor movements. Okay, a lot of these guys that came over, men and women came over, and as a result, the mafia was able to get its claws into the unions over there, just like they did in New York and all these other places. So there is a mafia problem, or there was a mafia problem, but there probably still is a mafia problem, because once the mafia bites you, they're always there in some way, shape, or form, for sure. So
so let's
great country. The Boston Bruins always beat them, though, so I'm not worried about the Canadians. That's
who's going to be next year? And I mean, next week, why don't we do Brazil?
Is there a specific?
Is there a specific?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Brazil next week.
That is served for the holiday.
I can explain that to you.
Go ahead.
Okay, I actually had a great pasta with fish, although it's really not everybody eats fish crisp. But let me tell you what I had one time. Well, Massimo's house with Anna. Okay. She bought a fish. It had to be 8 pounds, maybe 9 pounds. It's a huge fish, white fish. Okay, I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of.
How was it made?
What is it?
How was it made?
I'm going to explain to you. She then got 5 pounds of coarse sea salt, and she packed that little guy solid.
Yeah.
Bottom, top, the whole thing was buried in sea salt, coarse sea salt, and she threw it in the oven for 1 hour. So I'm saying, Jesus Christ! I said, this is going to be salty.
At Gabriella's house one time. Remember, big one.
Yes, but when it comes out, you just break off the
with the hammer,
with the crust, and the fish, believe me, is succulent.
Tender and delicious.
Delicious.
Remember my friend Michael had that one time down in Acitrezza? they had it. But you really have to be careful when you break the crust.
I mean, the head's on it and everything,
Mhm.
and they just
It's
take
so
out the
good.
guts and so forth. But on Monday of Easter,
It's
it's
Little
called
Easter. Monday Easter, Little Easter.
Pasquita. It's
Pasquetta.
Little Easter, right? And that's much more of a casual day. That's really not for families to get around. It's kind of going to be interesting this year
It's
because it's
gonna-
usually for friends to
Yeah.
hang out with each other. I don't know what the hell is
They
going to
go
happen.
to the mountains, get together
Guess
for
what?
lunch.
They're not
It's
going to go anyplace.
No,
They're going to be
can't.
doing
We're going to
Zooming
be in
this
red.
year. But there's no
All right.
such thing as a honey of the ham here.
No.
I mean,
can't
unless
find that.
I mean, you might be able to find it someplace like at Cristaldi's or one of those real gourmet shops in Catania, but you can't even find a ham in a can.
Okay.
I mean, why would they eat that when they have prosciutto over here? But you still can't get a honey of a ham.
Well,
here.
there's a lot of stuff that you miss, peeps and everything. We did a whole video on that.
They have
Roseanne says,
chocolate-covered
my
peeps
family
this year."
name originated in Termini and Mercy in the 1500s. We also make artichokes like your mother.
Perfect, Roseanne.
Let me
Roseanne,
see.
I love that woman. You see that woman
Joy-
right there? Her and her husband.
Yeah, Maria,
Talk show.
blessing in disguise for
What?
sure. Let's see. Priscilla and Jay, Esther, apologies if this has been asked before, but how long did it take for you to learn the language, and do you have any difficulty with the Sicilian dialect? So I speak no Sicilian dialect. I'm still learning Italian, and it takes time. I'll be quite honest with you. But people generally in the stores, in the markets, they speak Italian. Amongst friends and family, they'll speak Sicilian dialect, right? But
right.
Alfred was brought up in using Sicilian dialect in your house. But here on an everyday basis, I can interact really well. And I am still learning and taking lessons online. But the biggest thing is, you asked me how long. It's a process, you know. The longer you're here, the more you're using the language, the more you're interacting only in Italian. There's my sister.
You know,
it takes some time.
You know, the thing is that you've got conversational Italian, and then you have technical Italian, whether it's legalese Italian or medical Italian, where the words are like, you just don't like learn those words. Okay. I can remember now, I could speak it if I have to. I don't like to speak it, okay, especially in a business context, because as an attorney, I want to sound quasi-intelligent, and I don't want to use the wrong tense or singular and plural. So when I go with Massimo, that's my Italian law partner, one of the first things that he says to the people, whoever that we're negotiating with, is, Alfred doesn't speak Italian. So they look at me and they go like this. And what Massimo usually does is he translates for me. And then about a half an hour into the meeting, or 45 minutes into the meeting, Massimo excuses himself and goes to the bathroom. And while he's gone, whoever the two people were negotiating against, they're talking because they think I'm a jamoke and I can't speak Italian. So I'm understanding everything that they're saying. And then when Massimo comes by, I pass him notes on what they said. So even by the fact that I don't speak,
sneaky.
yeah, you know, anything.
Okay,
Any
let's
port
see.
is
Here,
fine.
this is a good question. Does everyone drink bottled water there? If so, what brand do you recommend? Well, okay, so a couple things. First of all, you can get filters. You should not be drinking the water here. It's very calcified.
Especially on the east side.
No way should you be drinking it. All of my friends have some type of a filter, or this is the one we prefer. It's called Cava Grande, and the water is del Aetna. See, it even says on it, it's water from Aetna. It's a very good water, but there's plenty of other bottled water. What other waters
This is 2 liters. 6-pack of 2 liters costs €3. Cheap. And you've got, just like you have in the St. San Bernardino, is that what it's called?
That's pretty good.
San Benedetto,
Benedetto.
Mangiolatoria.
Yeah.
But you have to watch out for bottled waters, because some of the bottled waters have high levels of arsenic in them. And the Italians know which one, because by law, they have to print which water has, high levels. So sometimes we're at the market and, Esther will say, well, look at this one over here. It's on sale. It's not, €3, it's €1. And if I say, look at Esther, look at the.
Well, we never buy. That's we never buy anything
I like to
that.
stick with my water.
Maybe my first year, I said, "Oh,
yeah,
look
no,
at
you're
that.
right.
But,
It was
okay.
Esther's line.
How about lamb? Lamb. Ooh,
lamb right now for
lamb
Easter.
in the mountains. Yes, yes.
Lamb stew. And I was just saying to her for Easter, what I want to have. You're not going to believe this, okay? I want to have rabbit. I never had rabbit.
Picnics.
I have never had rabbit in my life, and half the people here eat rabbit.
Well, all the time.
No, I'm talking about for
Corn-
Easter.
Oh.
They'll eat rabbit. They'll eat lamb. The guy downstairs is making
Cornelio.
sausage. I mean, I'm not talking about Frankie Cornelio or Chris, but
Pasquetta is probably more popular than Pasqua. Picnics are going on everywhere. That's
Yeah.
right.
You know what the
Joe
funny
and
thing
Sue
is, Jim?
says, my mother made artichoke like elves did.
here we go. Jimmy, I'll tell you a funny story. Today, in today's paper, there was a political cartoon because you can't go out, red zone. So there you see in an apartment building, you see a husband and a wife on their deck, and they have they're doing their own picnic. Okay, they have the thing spread out on the floor of their deck, and the people next door have, their thing spread out on the deck. They're having a picnic, but you can't really go out this year for sure.
Hello from Lawrence, Massachusetts. Arlene
My
Torres.
hometown.
Do you know who this is?
Lawtown. Where are you from?
Ed Meaches says, wow, Al, you're missing out. Rabbit is fantastic. I love it.
I want to try
rabbit in
rabbit
Hungary,
stew. I want
too.
to try rabbit stew.
No, let's make, or we can make in Messina style. I've seen, Peter had that up in Trecastani. He had the Messina style rabbit, which you make it with some kind of a red sauce, the olives, pine nuts, raisins. Remember, and you had like little bits of celery, onions, and carrots, and it was baked.
These guys are not that small. You see them in the market. Those, I think they're called hare, right? Hares, really in English. They're pretty big.
Christine, is this the recipe that you heard? Rabbit with pomodoro? That's the one, I think.
Rabbit stew with. Oh, before I forget, you know what I want to solicit for Chris and Esther for this recipe book. Maybe my friend Rosario Faraci is listening. Okay, we need a top shelf, authentic recipe for risotto. A good way to make risotto. Because we have 50 recipes, and I'm like, no. So if
you've looked at any of them?
What?
You've looked at the recipes?
I've looked at the recipes from risotto in my stuff. Okay. Yeah, there's Rosario Faraci, Professor Faraci from University of Catania. If there's
he makes it with everything.
If there's one thing that guy knows how to make, believe me, is the risotto. So Saro, if you're listening,
Canadian Tarali, hello from Malta. Love your grill. Look forward to him every week.
Molson Golden. And Labatt beer. Did you ever drink Molson's?
No.
That's beer.
Beer. The green. I think it's in the green bottle.
No.
Wait a
second. Did you ever drink Molson's? They always say E-H.
Arlene says, I'm from Puerto Rico, but
Puerto Rico.
Richard Guglinetti.
Ricky.
You know him?
No, do I know Ricky, but I knew his dad. His dad was a good pal of mine. Okay, and do me a favor and pass my respect and admiration on to your husband. He's a very active member of the St. Alfio Society. Did you know that?
No, good to know.
Yeah, good guy.
Alicia is here from Florida. Jim Ingram says, just grill it with olive oil, garlic, and parsley. That recipe right there, you can say everything.
What's that?
You can make rabbit, chicken, beef,
all
types of fish,
olive oil, garlic,
parsley, and olive oil. That's all you need.
What do you think, Esther? Should we have?
No, I want to make it the Messina. You want to have?
I don't care how we have it.
Wait a sec. I thought you said you wanted bacala.
Oh, but I want bacala Friday because bacala is coming to the end of the road.
Sally says, I have a rabbit pot pie like it's chicken.
Sally, why don't you invite me over to your house to eat that? Are you from Holland?
Listen,
is she from Holland?
Just like the Sicilians.
There's another Canadian. The
Canadian
Maltese.
Just like the Sicilians, love rabbits.
My grandfather, Alfio Zappola, God rest his soul, he used to have a shotgun. We used to have a farm in Merrimack Valley, okay, before the highways went through. And he would take a shotgun and he would go to the banks of the Merrimack River down there in Methuen, and he would always bag 1 or 2 rabbits.
Yeah.
He would always, and he'd come back and he'd have them. He'd skin them. My mother would be horrified because my mother didn't like them, but my grandfather liked them a lot. So I'm going to try it. It might be.
I grew up eating those in Hungary. They have them a lot.
Rabbits?
Too. Yeah, and you make them, you roast them. Basically, is the best way. But I'm really now thinking about what Peter had.
What?
The stew he had up in Trecastani when we went out with him about 2 years ago.
Right now, Trecastani, Via Grande, Zeffirana, especially Zeffirana, Milo. They're getting whacked with ash pretty bad.
Okay. Patricia J., do you find it easy making friends? Are people open or not as friendly of new people? So here's my experience. My experience was I made friends pretty fast. Went to the gym, made friends there, made friends at the market. I consider some of my friends here one of our best friends, right? Vanessa and Gabriella, they're my Sicilian sisters. I call them my Sicilian sisters, but you have to work at it. Now, are there people who are suspicious of strangers? Yeah. For example, Francesca, the woman who sells fruits and vegetables down the road from us. My first year, she was not the friendliest person. Let me tell you, a true Sicilian hardcore woman, business owner, which, by the way, is very unusual. She was tough on me. Of course, I didn't speak any Italian. I was new, blonde, blah, 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 whatever. Sicilians are suspicious. They are.
My friends, first of all, God has blessed me with a lot of friends, okay? And I thank the good Lord Jesus Christ every day for my friends and my family, okay? I don't go looking for friends. And whatever friends that I've generated over the 20 years that I've been here primarily have been in the professional field, okay? A lot of lawyers, a lot of restaurant guys that own restaurants.
Yeah.
As far as Joe Schmo, my neighbor, I haven't had good luck with Joe Schmo, my neighbors. I don't know if she
Francesco has been great.
Francesco's about the only one. I mean, some of these...
those guys down there?
Where? Oh, yeah. Okay, so she's naming two. But as
we only have 3 neighbors.
Oh boy, she's trying to prove me wrong.
Wait, but I gotta tell you one thing. I did get yelled at one time by one of our neighbors down here because I brought the trash out on the wrong day. Remember that?
Well, I was gonna rip the guy's throat off. Remember that?
Pat Galfano.
I don't like when people try to rip a man after. I become like a Papa Bear, so to speak. It's not nice that a man approach a woman in Sicily that he doesn't know and gives her hell. That's just not done here.
Since then, they've become, since the lockdown, because I used to walk up and down our little our little pavement that we have down here, and we used to talk during the lockdown, and now they're super, super friendly, and I'm friends with a wife.
Now, Jimmy Ingram.
Wait a second. Wait.
Where you stay? Wait a minute. Where you stayed a couple years ago next door. What they did was they made the first floor and the second floor back to its original condition, which is like one ginormous villa now, okay? So this lady moved in with her little kid. She must be a divorcee, and she's probably 40 years old, right? And this kid is the most spoiled little brat.
That's the one you were hearing earlier in the show.
The kid is playing by himself, and he kind of screams. I never heard that before. He screams.
Pat Galfano, Con Igloo is great, at least once a year. Thanks for reminding me about Rabbit. Also, my Sicilian friends in Taormina bought a winery.
Sure.
There's first wine is coming soon. Let me find out and connect you.
Well,
Sounds good.
The first wine came out in November. So you're talking about the first wine to America? Because the wines are, right now, Italian wines are getting killed in the United States because of the damn currency conversion. And also because Chile, especially Chile, has been granted favored nation status. Okay, so they can bring stuff in, no problem. South Africa, Italy, and France, we've been getting smoked. Okay, so the Italians now says, you want to know something, America? Tough luck. And they've been marketing their stuff throughout the EU, which finally they're beginning to understand that there are more people in the EU than in the United States. There are 27 member states. Bring your product there. Why ship it on a container? You get paid in euros, so that means your price. People aren't going to say, hey, your prices are high.
Viv says, Peter Rabbit. She's so funny.
Who said that?
Viv, of course, the comedian. Julie says, no same person drinks Labatt's 50th hormone. The only time you buy it is as a gag gift for someone's 50th.
You want to know something,
that's
Julie?
Funny.
I agree with you 1,000. That's
listen,
like drinking Houlihan's beer.
Jim says Francesca is awesome. So is Graziella. Yes, they're awesome, but it took about a year for them to warm up to it.
There's another good, Julie. There's another good Canadian beer besides Molson. What's the name of it? I'm forgetting the. Let me know what these. Another really good brand of beer in Canada.
Ann Ortolaza Chow. Oh my God, Lisa Bruno is here. What is she?
She's gonna start complaining with you. She's gonna start saying,
my
hey,
high school friend is here.
You just told me to shut up, so now I'm gonna tell you to shut up.
I didn't tell her to shut up. I just told the kids to go.
Oh, not just the kids?
Lisa Bruno. Yeah, just the kids.
Hi, Lisa. Now there's a hottie right there. That one's a hottie. Right
Vivian, good times. Maria, ciao Maria.
When are we going to have Vivian and Maria come to Sicily? I'm sick and tired of begging you guys. I beg you guys all the time. What?
She said.
Yeah, Joya. What kind of wine are you drinking over there nowadays? Are you Joya? Are you in Sicily? So I mean, she's in the States.
Jim says, I like that everywhere in Sicily. I think kids yell and scream for hours, but they're all kids.
You know what it is about? Let me tell you something, okay? This is between me and you, okay? Those parents that have one kid. Okay, and most of the parents here have one kid. All the mothers think that they've given birth to Jesus Christ Almighty. These kids are so freaking spoiled. I'd like to bat them all on the head. They're like little, I don't know how you call it, but they ought to come to Lawrence.
Lisa says Gianna is dying for pizza and granita. They were here a few years ago.
Tell Gianna, I love Gianna. Tell Gianna.
We took him to
I remember
Archimedes.
I love Gianna. Give him my regard. But anyway, the kids here is spoiled.
Maria says, I hope soon, Al. We must.
Maria, please. How's Luigi? How's your son doing in the service? There's another one who's going to the service. My other friend, TJ Tasca from St. Alfio Society. His son is in the Marines. He just got his, whatever we call it. They stick the thing in the chest there. There's some big thing that the Marines do, and you can officially be called a Marine. And one day I want to talk about the Italian Americans' contribution to the United States services.
That's a good
because
one.
They have.
On that note.
What are we going to do? We're going to have some more?
On that note. Oh, it smells so good.
So what are we having for supper now? Why don't you tell the people?
So we're going to have sausage.
How are you going to cook it?
I'm just going to grill it.
And what kind of sausage are we talking? Wait a minute.
We have the sausage. I think I got the one with the little bit of tomato and cheese in it.
That's
but you know what? My favorite is the one with the fennel. Then we're going to have Brussels sprouts.
Fennel?
Oh, the fennel sausage. Oh, my gosh. Love fennel sausage.
What else are we going to eat this week? Tell these people what our
let's see. Wait a second. We're going to have, I'm going to grill a little bit of the artichokes that we spoke about earlier.
I have a salad. I'm
making you a feta salad.
I have a salad with no lettuce in it because she eats enough for 14 people. I don't want any lettuce in my salad. So she's
so anti.
She puts olives and feta cheese and shaved carrots and tomato.
And today I'm going to also roast an artichoke.
Now that's a salad.
Julie says there are all kinds of microbrewery here in Canada.
Moosehead beer. That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
Moosehead beer.
Okay. What do you think of Sicily? I hope to come in.
It's a beautiful town. I've been there.
Beautiful town.
I want to go back there and do a video on that town.
You know what? That's a good idea.
I want to go to there in Mazzamani. We haven't been to Mazzamani either.
No. Yes, we have.
Did we do a video?
No.
Okay.
No, we went there with some guests that came in 2019 for Christmas.
We have 100.
Nancy Ippolito. That's who we are. But let me tell you about Sicily. That is so beautiful. And one of the things that I love here in Sicily as well is that at night it looks golden.
Yeah.
It's for some reason the way they do the night lighting, it looks golden. So would definitely like to go.
Rudy's asking, can you find Tarali in Sicily? Rudy.
Yes.
Well, first of all, Tarali is not a Sicilian concoction. That is a Calabrian concoction. But if I point my finger over there 12 miles away, that's the Strait of Messina, and that's where Calabria is. So all the supermarkets here sell Tarali.
All types.
All types
of
with
flavors.
Pepper, with red pepper flake,
with fennel,
with fennel, you name it.
There was even a curry one. Remember those? That big
she loves the Tarali. They're about €2 to €3 a bag. You know, Calabria is very underrated in terms of the general excellence of their food.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Calabrian cuisine, great. The meat, the meat there is terrific. She doesn't like she's not a meat eater, but I am. And when I went there just a couple of years ago, through the valleys there, they have all these places that make grilled steak.
Yeah.
Okay, the steak in Sicily, except for the Fiorentina beef, it's all been run to death. There's like no fat.
It's tough to find good beef.
Okay. Calabria, on the other hand, they have great cuisine. But you know who's got the best cuisine in all of Italy? Who do you think?
I'm going to say Sicily.
No.
You're going to say Napolitano.
Naples?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say
Wait
Naples.
a sec.
Go ahead.
What are you going to say?
Sardinia.
That's an interesting one.
Sardinia won. Great in Naples.
What makes their food different, special, better?
Esther, I don't know, but they have 3 Michelin-rated restaurants in that little tiny island, okay? And everybody from Italy
probably a lot of fish
goes to Sardinia to eat.
My Italian teacher is in Sardinia. One of them. She comes to Sicily for a vacation.
Sicily's got fish. I mean, that's what the allure of coming to Sicily. You eat fish. You're not going to come to Sicily to eat meat. Are you kidding me? Maybe lamb. Maybe salsiccia. Okay.
Sausage,
maybe crispelis.
Yeah.
But not steak.
Yeah.
Maybe pasta. I mean, we have a lot of good stuff. And before I get off today, okay?
Well, we have a couple more.
I know,
minutes.
but I want to just tell my friends right
Sherry.
now. Okay? Can I tell them?
Yes.
Listen, I talked about Canada today. Do me a favor when you're all done with me today. Research immigration into Canada. Okay? Research immigration into Australia. Next week, when I talk about immigration into Brazil or Argentina, because I'm going to talk about them at some point in time, research it. I'm just trying to enhance you culturally. That's all. Whet your appetite
for more knowledge. How's that? And we also talked about Archimedes. There's a lot more to talk about. Archimedes.
Yeah. Eureka! I found it.
I love that. Eureka. There's that famous picture of him in the bathtub. So we talked about a lot of things. We just brushed the surface, so it's up to you to go and educate yourself a little bit more. Afternoon from the Roman outpost of Mancunian. It's very cold here. It's beautiful here.
Is that where you are?
Andrew Parisi says you need another hour. So interesting.
We have
let me finish.
1,500.
Thanks for adjusting the time on your end to keep it consistent for many of us. Yeah, because you guys, we are right now 5 hours instead of 6 hours ahead of you. So we're going to stay with the same time.
We'll try Sundays.
Yeah. Sue, I agree. Wait a second. I agree. Sicilian seafood is the best.
No. Come on. Are you kidding me? There's nothing better than Sicilian seafood. There's no lobster here, though. The lobsters stink. There aren't any because they have to come from up north.
All right, say one more thing and then we're going to
If you're going to eat a lobster from Italy.
Like $50.
Go buy a can of tuna fish. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, didn't someone order it in the restaurant? How much did they end up paying?
$400 for 4 lobsters. And they stunk, okay? They were terrible. They have no taste. They're from the warm water. Lobster has to come from cold waters like, Newfoundland, Maine, off the coast of Massachusetts, maybe off the coast of New Hampshire. We're talking about lobsters, baby. All right?
New Englanders, we love our lobster.
Oh, by the way.
Okay, wait. One final word.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to wrap it up.
All I care about is that we're whetting your appetite for things that you don't know about Sicily. Mm-hmm. That's all I want to do. So then you can learn about them, and then you can tell your kids about them, because you know what? We need some young people here. Don't you agree?
Christopher Pace says, I'm glad you didn't say Bologna had the best food. So tired of hearing about how it's great. Too earthy for me. Yeah. Very interesting.
Same thing with Florence. Too many beans. Too many beans.
On that note, next week we're going to talk about Brazil. We are also going to have another famous person that from Sicily that I'm going to talk about. Of course, we're always talking about food.
I'm always
And
talking
wait a
about my
second.
drink while I'm drinking with you
But
guys.
wait a second. Just before we leave, here's our view today from Sicily. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you online.
As my brother says, Sa Benediga. Okay? And by the way, I love my brother a lot, and I respect that guy. Even though he's kind of funny looking and you watch him on the Sicilian corner, he's a good guy.
On that note, thanks for watching, and thanks for your support of you, me, and Sicily.